that up. All right, welcome back. Whitlock and Wiley, Mark Schlereth is back. Let's move to Cleveland. Sponsored by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? Where the he said, she said over Baker Mayfield's comments in GQ, in which he questioned the Giants drafting quarterback Daniel Jones, continues. Baker doubled down on the claim his words were taken out of context, explained that he defended himself because the alleged quotes reflected poorly on his character. He also added, quote, "If I have a problem with someone, I will say I have a problem with someone." That is true. Baker Mayfield's not afraid to put a name on it, which adds credibility to his contention that his comments were taken out of context. Question here is, respect Baker backpedaling here on the Daniel Jones criticism?
I really do. I really do, because we know he likes to smoke. And like you said, and coaches used to always say, if y'all gonna clown and criticize, names and numbers. Put it by the criticism that you're making. This is a guy who says, in his ego right now, this is amazing, because we all know he could be a guy that could put up the wall and just say, you know, I say what I said, take it at face value. But he cares, not just about football, not just about his teammates, but his teammates outside the locker room, which is the fraternity. And he's like, man, don't do this. Like, he, in his heart of hearts, is thinking, y'all are making me look like somebody I am not. I'll take all the heat from things that are authentic to me, but not this one. This was disingenuous in terms of how you put it out there in context, so I'm going to clear this up as best as possible. I respect it.
Yeah, well, I don't think you can take it out of context. I mean, I don't think it's out of context. He said, I couldn't believe they took him. My mind was blown. You said it. It is what it is. I don't think there's full context to it. It could be a longer conversation, but I respect the fact that he reached out. I respect the fact that he said, hey, listen, man, whatever I said, you know, I didn't mean any harm by it. You know, I apologize for it, but I tell you what, the backpedal right now, he backpedals any faster, he can be playing free safety. Because he is rolling right now. I mean, he's just, oh.
No,
I respect the fact that when you screw something up, and I understand that things sometimes don't have full context to them when they get printed. And we've seen that before. So I totally understand that point. But I'm glad that he reached out and said, I'm sorry.
Here's what I will hope someone gets this to Baker, what I'm about to say. What he has to understand, and this is why people like Colin Cowherd, myself, and others are like, hey, man, tone it down a little bit. Because if you become a lightning rod, like me, like Cowherd, like Marcellus in his comments about Jay-Z and Colin Kaepernick, when you become a lightning rod, people are going to take you out of context. People are going to take your polarizing statements and start adding their spin on it. That's what lightning rod, and that's why it's good to be a lightning rod in these chairs. We're not NFL quarterbacks. When you become an NFL quarterback, it's not a lightning rod job. You don't want to be struck by lightning. You don't want that smoke constantly around you. And I'm just telling you, Baker, if you're going to keep talking and talking and talking and controversial, writers are going to take you out of context and put their spin on your comments, and you'll be backpedaling the rest of your career.
Right. They won't give you full context. Like the writing, I mean, you're a journalist. You're not taking it out of context, but it won't be in full context.
The only thing I'll say, Mark, because I'm a critic of the media, not everybody in the media is honest. And a lot of times people get taken out of context intentionally. And it happens. It's happened to me. It's happened. It's commonplace now in today's journal.
I was told when I was on the rise, when I was getting like all the media attention, and they were pointing them out, some of the big dogs on my team, like, not him, not him. He'll do you wrong. And it was accurate because I saw it occur. Context is not just physical. It's emotional. It could be just in terms of... Right. So if you look at Daniel Jones and you're looking there in criticism and grading him, and you say, can't believe they took him. That's one connotation, which is bad. But what if you're taking it like I took it in shock? Like, I can't believe they took him. Boom. That lands completely different, and that's the same thing that happened with Baker Mayfield. When he went #1 overall, I was like, Baker Mayfield went #1 overall. Glad I wasn't doing the interview, because somebody would take that and say, I'm going down with it, when I'm like, I didn't think they were going to go with him. I thought they were going with Sam Darnold or someone else. It's a damn shame, but that's how it goes.
Sometimes your words, your spoken words, when they get put on paper, are completely different. And I was joking around on a radio show in New York, and I was giving Eric Decker all kinds of grief on this radio show between me and this host. Eric wasn't there. It's the only time in this business, 19 years, where I've called up to apologize to somebody because the reporter, the newspaper, the Post, put it down, said they were, I mean, we were joking around, we were goofing around. They didn't say any of that. They gave no context to it, and it made me look like a complete and total jerk.
And so,
and it was
Marcellus,
the one time I did it.
To further elaborate on your point, which was excellent, if Baker did say, man, I can't believe they took him #1, and then the reporter asked a follow-up, why? Oh, well, because, you know, he didn't win that much at Duke. You know, winning really mattered. Again, that's totally different than if there is no follow-up and he's like, man, they took him #1. He didn't win at Duke. Blah, blah.
Right.
Reporters do it all the time.
Yeah, and you one of the top journalists, so you know the tricks of that trade.
Yes.
And look, I don't care how many media classes we take as active players and journalism 101. We have that once-a-year meeting.
Yeah, I can't believe. Hey, I can't believe they took him #1. Could be like, man, I'm so excited for him. I talked to him, like I threw with him at this camp or whatever. We came up together. Like, you could be totally like geeked up for. I can't believe they took him. This is great. You know, he's a buddy of mine.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And again, I want to be clear. Clay Skipper, that wrote the story, maybe he got it all accurate. What I would just suggest to Baker is, if you're not a lightning rod, when people do exploitive things to you, in your words, people are less likely to believe you. They're like, oh, Baker wouldn't say that. Right. But when the narrative is, oh, Baker would say that, people believe it. And so I would just tone it down, play a little bit more, and let your play do the talking for you. All right, coming up, we'll give you our latest approval ratings for Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
We'll discuss what kind of impacts his new deal with the NFL can have on society. Nerds!
Really?